Welcome home, everyone. This is Unrooted, a podcast for those who belong nowhere and everywhere. So today I have my guest here, Darius. Darius?
Depends where you're coming from. So, in Spanish, Darius, but international environments, I've always gone by Darius. My mom pronounces it differently. My dad's family does differently. So, honestly, I'm flexible. Depends where you're from. Whatever works for you.
I just realized why I said Darius because we had a co-house member here, a friend of mine. His name is Marius.
Okay.
So it's kind of similar. Yeah. So I just realized I was like, oh.
So it depends, how the D is spelled in the corresponding country or language. But yeah.
So Darius.
Yeah.
And Darius here is half Finnish, half Bangladesh.
Correct.
Do you say Bangladeshi?
Bangladeshi.
Bangladeshi, sorry. Half Finnish, half Bangladeshi, which I think is such an interesting mix. And we actually met at a Cohabs event, right?
Correct. I think it was someone's birthday or Lorenzo's farewell or something anyway. But
no.
It was,
when we did
the walking tour, right? The walking tour last month.
Walking
Correct.
Tour. So Darius is also lives in Cohabs. We both live in a co-living space called Cohabs. We're in my room right now, and he lives just below me. And we met at a Cohabs event. We did the walking tour of Madrid, and then we sat down and we had the tapas.
Exactly, drinks. Yeah.
Good day. And it was cool. And then I just started talking to him, and he told me about his background, your nationalities, and I was like, oh my God, he would be perfect for Unrooted. So here we are today. So what brought you to Cohabs?
So I moved to Madrid in January for work. I work in education sales. I've been to Spain as a tourist, but I had no idea about, renting apartments. I was trying to do some research online, Google, Reddit, the usuals. And what I understood from other expats, it was quite difficult to get, showings, to get any slots and find any relevant apartments, especially if you had no contacts or base in Spain. So then I did some Googling. I was like, okay, maybe I could stay in obviously Airbnb in the beginning or find a co-living or something of that nature. And then I found a few in Madrid. I think Urban Living is one, then Cohabs is one. There's a few others as well. And Cohabs really stood out to me the most because they had a lot of locations across Europe and also in the States, I believe, as well. They have a few there too. Okay. And also given that I've grown up in very international environments and my university was quite international, Cohabs, mission statement, all that really resonated with me, and everything just kind of ticked my boxes, and it was just an easy way to integrate into Madrid and network, meet people, and obviously just it's you kind of expect what you're getting. It's a room, it's a co-living, there's a kitchen and everything, so was quite an easy decision to come here and kind of integrate seamlessly. I didn't have to worry about all the extra hassle when it comes to moving into a new place. And I'm sure it was kind of similar for you as well.
I was just going to say, what I like about Cohabs is the ease of coming in and out. Exactly. Is that you don't have to worry about paperwork.
Exactly.
Yeah, and furniture and things like that. If you're somebody who travels a lot, it's easy to come and go.
Exactly. I travel a lot for work. And when you consider the additional costs of furniture and, household things here and there, it's obviously it's a hassle-free, situation over here. And we have a lot of events as well. So it's you're not only getting the, a place to live and accommodation, but you're getting the network and friends, the
community,
and events, the community aspect of things. So I'm liking it so far. I might find something on my own at some point, but so far I'm quite content here.
And we also have an event coming up this weekend. Mm-hmm. You said you might be going, right?
Tomorrow, the Olympics.
Yeah. So we're doing this Olympics event. They did it last year, and the prize was tickets to the actual Olympics.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And
were you there this year?
So I had moved into Cohabs after that Olympics event, so I wasn't there for that. But I remember it because Renate, she was one of the ones who won the tickets to go to Paris and see the Olympics.
I was in the Olympics last year.
Oh, you were? Okay. Okay, so let's talk about you a little bit, Darius. Where were you born?
Dallas, Texas. So that makes my background even more international, multicultural. So that's something I get a lot when people ask me, where am I from? I'll obviously say half Finnish, half Bangladeshi, but then they're like, oh, which one are you more? Where are you born? Then I say the US, and they're like, makes it even more complicated. But so that's where my parents met hence the weird mix. They were both
in Texas.
Yeah.
They were both studying.
They were going to uni there. My dad moved there for high school. My mom was there as an exchange student. They met there. They went to the same University of Texas, Arlington. Got married, had me. I barely lived there though, so I don't carry much of an American identity. I don't associate myself. I have a tad of, I think my accent's quite neutral, but some people say I have more of an American accent. But I mean, I have the passport, right? So that does ease traveling to our family in the U.S.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, how come?
From my dad's side, because there's a lot of immigration, obviously.
In Texas?
All around the U.S. So like my aunt's in Florida. Then I have some other uncles and cousins in New York, some family in Seattle. My godparents are in Texas. So, I do travel to the U.S. quite a lot. But yeah, like I said, in terms of identity, I don't associate as being
with
American.
Texas. I mean, it makes sense if you were just born there.
Yeah.
Then
then again, like, when I was growing up younger, because I didn't, necessarily.
Where did you grow up?
So I was probably like 6 months less. I was a toddler, basically. I was less than a year old when my parents decided to move to Bangladesh, where my dad's from. So we were there for 9 years, and then after that we moved to Finland. I was there for 9-10 years. So I grew up in both equally. So I kind of hold a strong identity for both countries. So it's not like because I've met a lot of people who are, let's say, Bangladeshi who's grown up in Spain or Sweden or Finland, the UK, and they don't associate themselves as much with the culture as far as, I may not look it, but then, I grew up surrounding that culture. Same with the Finnish heritage and everything.
It's interesting because it's hard to pinpoint.
Yeah, because I look quite ethnically ambiguous. So
yes,
I get Southern European, Middle Eastern, South American.
Yeah.
Asian sometimes.
Because I do see the Finnish.
Okay.
I do see the Finnish. Like, obviously, the Bangladesh is definitely there, the dark features, but I think, like, maybe the cheekbones would be more of the northern side, kind of like me with being Danish. I feel like I have my dad's cheekbones.
Yeah.
But that must have been so interesting for your mom to move to Bangladesh.
Yes, absolutely.
Being someone who's like completely Finnish and grown up in Finnish and then moves to Bangladesh.
Yeah, 100%.
That must have been a huge culture shock.
Yeah, because I grew growing up, right? So it was probably a very big culture shock for her, and being so different from Finnish culture and everything. Like, well, for example, they had 2 weddings, my parents. So they had one in Finland in a church, obviously like a small occasion, very similar to what we have in Europe or you have in Denmark. But the weddings in Bangladesh are massive. They're like, these huge spectacles, week-lasting events. And I think their wedding had around 7,000, 10,000 people.
Stop.
So, yeah.
What?
Yeah,
how do they even know 7,000 people?
Keep in mind, there's like 170 million people in Bangladesh. So, and our family is quite active in the constituency, the area that we come from. There was just a lot of, and you have to invite, it's not enough that you invite family, you have to invite extended family, their families, their friends. So, they just turn out to be these massive events. So that must have been a culture shock for my mom. But other than that, she really enjoyed moving to Bangladesh because she, was able to have a lot of impact on, let's say like women's rights or equal rights over there, be in a senior position, train a lot of the people there. She used to teach in a university. She was a professor. So she was doing a lot of great things over there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, can you talk a little bit more about the like women's rights?
Yeah, so I mean, we make films so our family business in Bangladesh revolve around cinema. So we're an exhibitor there. We're kind of the AMC of Bangladesh. And then we work in hospitality. We have hotels and then a few other projects here and there. But for example, we made a film on women empowerment. It's based on a true story. It's about a surfer girl in a beach town city. Bangladesh is a Muslim predominant country. And then obviously in the rural areas, they can be a little bit more extreme in their thoughts. So, there would be a consensus that, women going into the sea is not permissible, etc. So, it's based on a true story. There was this young surfer girl. She was really talented, and
from Bangladesh. She learned how to surf from a Australian surfer. I think he was just a tourist or an NGO worker, and this person taught a lot of the locals how to surf. This girl was one of them. So she became really good at it. But then they wanted to fund her to go to these competitions in Bali and around Asia. But her parents and society didn't let her. So we decided to make a film on that. My dad, he was a producer of the film. It's called Dare to Surf in English.
we're promoting it in Cannes as well a couple of years back. It's called No Dorai in the local language. And it was my mom was involved in that project too. And it was just promoting kind of like this equal rights of women are able to serve or become managers, become CEOs, etc. So
wow, is it like an indie film or?
It was for the local market. It's a local film.
Okay.
Yeah, not really an indie. It's based on a true story.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
like regular woman empowerment film. But yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's so cool. Yeah. And that was produced by your dad's.
My dad himself, and then it was like shown in our cinemas and everything.
Okay, but he has a production.
Yeah, we do. So we exhibit, we produce movies, we distribute movies. So
wow, that's so cool. You're gonna have to send me the link to some of them.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely, I will.
That's amazing. Well, that's so cool about the wedding as well. All those people, your mom must have been like that must have been such a crazy experience for her.
Absolutely. And
did her family come to that wedding?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
And that was also, timings. And well, they say Spanish people are late, but like when you go to South Asia, they're even, if a wedding starts at 8, not even the bride and groom's going to be there. Everything starts much later. So back then there were no phones. Like there's a story of my granddad not knowing where my mom or his wife were. And it was one, because timings and everything, the mix of cultures. But it was, they came and everything. But touching on the culture shock thing as well. So it's like, I don't know if you've ever been to South Asia or, viewers, some that have, it's like when you're a foreigner, especially with let's say lighter complexion, there's like you get a lot of attention. Like people want to take pictures with you, people want to feed you, treat you, give you free stuff. So it's a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Sometimes
does that happen to you?
It does. So basically, so people there don't consider me as a local. I look foreign to them. I look like a foreigner to them. So that's why I never really fit in there as well. So they would be surprised when I spoke the local language.
Oh.
Or I tried to, assimilate into local cultures and everything. Or they're like proud of it. I'm like, but this is me. But similar to in Finland, everyone's predominantly, lighter complexion, blonde hair, blue eyes. So, you get a lot of microaggressions that, how come you speak Finnish so well? I am Finnish. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you face the same in Denmark, but
no, because I don't speak Danish.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. But that's really cool. I was going to ask you, like, which language you feel more comfortable speaking in?
Finnish. Well, English and Finnish. So I was raised trilingual. So my dad used to talk Bengali to me, and his family did. My mom spoke Finnish to me, but then I actually didn't learn English until I went to school in Bangladesh, in the International School of Dhaka. So, and you go to school quite early there. I was like 3 years old when I went to like nursery, pre-KG, and first grade like at 5. Finland, that's at 7, for instance. So only there I started to learn English, and so that's kind of sad about like in Bangladesh. It's like when you speak English, that it comes with like kind of power and economy. So it's like if you come from a well-off family, you go to like schools that only teach English. You don't go like the public schools are all the ones only in the local language. So. It's interesting. A lot of like me and my friends back, the ones who are Bangladeshi, I'll speak English to them. I won't talk in Bengali, even though we both speak the language.
Okay.
So
interesting. I actually do that with my Spanish-speaking friends as well, because we went to an international school, an English-speaking school.
I guess that's more of an international school thing, but even more so over there. But like, for example, in Finland, it's like I'd always speak Finnish to my Finnish friends. It's like, we're in Finland, we speak Finnish kind of thing. So why I was mentioning this is because then when I started doing all of my schooling and primary education in English, we only had like one Bengali class a week. I'd obviously talk it with, my family, and then, we had drivers, maids, helpers around the house with them as well, because they didn't speak English. But I lost a lot of it already at that young age. And then obviously when I moved to Finland, I wasn't using it anymore except with my dad.
At what age did you move to Finland?
9.
Okay, so from like pretty much a baby till you were 9 in Bangladesh. Correct. And then 9 till when in Finland?
19.
19?
Yeah, 18, okay. 19, yeah.
Where do your parents live now?
My mom actually lives in Spain. She has she bought a place. She moved to the south of Spain, Denia, just like between Alicante and Valencia. So she's spending half her time here, half her time in Finland. Which is quite. I mean, Nordic people love Spain, so that's kind of their goal to like move to Spain at some point. So she's doing that. My dad's in Bangladesh. Okay, but like family trips and stuff we do together, and
Cool. And so once you finished in high school in Finland, where did you go study?
Yeah, so I did my high school in English again at the IB. You did the same probably, yeah. So, but yeah, before that, just touch on that a bit. I did so when I was 9, when I moved to Finland, my Finnish was okay, but it was just like very conversational Finnish with my mom. There again, then, all the education is equal. It's like egalitarian. So everyone does the same thing. It's all in Finnish. There's no option to do it in English. There's no private schools.
Yeah.
So I had to learn grammar and, do biology, geography, maths, all in Finnish. So
wow.
That was a bit of a change, but then that helped me become fluent in Finnish. So, I'm grateful for that. I picked it up quickly. And then, but yeah, after high school, I did the military conscription in Finland, did the military service. It's mandatory there for men, voluntary for women. I think in Denmark you have the lottery system still, right? Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't. Okay.
I don't know.
You do. Because I've been to Denmark. I did an exchange when I was in high school too.
Oh.
Öregård Gymnasium.
Oh.
It was like a week exchange. It was like a project. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I did the military, and then basically after that, I knew I didn't want to, given my multicultural background and everything. And high school we had a lot of like exchanges and trips to Florence, Copenhagen, Lithuania. London here and there. So I just knew I wanted to get out, kind of like, be in a more international environment, be around global citizens, be around more multicultural people like myself. And although, obviously a lot of my friends were like, why would you move? Finland has a great education system. Universities are free, et cetera, et cetera. But I was like, no, I want to go abroad. I wanted to go to the US and get back to my roots, Unrooted. Not that I have any roots in the States, but that's growing up, though being Finnish, Bangladeshi, I felt like, okay, at least in America, everyone's from kind of somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of felt like belonging or like wanting to go back to that. Although now when I visit the US, it's like no one's actually from it's a weird, they say it's a cultural melting pot, but then it's really not.
Yeah, I guess it depends what city you go to. Of course. But I completely understand what you mean. It's like because you have a mix of cultures and you have that mixed background, you want it to be in more international circles because you feel like you thrive more in international.
But that's not necessarily the States, because I felt like a outsider there despite being American.
Right. But where did you go?
So that was my issue. I didn't know where to go. I knew I wanted to go to like a metropolis, ideally English speaking. I think I was considering Madrid and IE as well at that point, but I was looking at schools in the US, in the UK, in Australia, pretty much all over. Then I stumbled upon the university I went to and the one that I work for right now, which is Hull International Business School. And they have campuses in San Francisco, Boston, New York, London, Dubai. That time they had Shanghai. Now it's Singapore. So I was like, okay, this is perfect. I can, because in the bachelor's program, you could rotate. You could do 1 year in Boston, 1 year in London, etc. And then their whole kind of mission statement is around the aspect of, the student diversity and everything. Not one nationality took more than 7%. So I was like, okay, like this is my place. And, I had a good conversation with the school and I got a good scholarship. And I decided to pack my bags and then go to London this was 2018, January.
Okay.
And
study.
Yeah, to study, do my bachelor's, BBA.
Nice.
And I'm really happy I did that. I enjoyed it. I ended up liking London so much that I didn't even find the need to go to the US. And London's obviously, you've been as well. It's a very international hub and city. And especially my university was that. So from the get-go, I met people from, Ecuador, Zimbabwe, South Korea. And I met mixes like me that I thought I wouldn't like. I met this half Ethiopian, half Swedish guy.
Oh.
So I'm like, and then I met Finnish people as well, Bangladeshi people from all over. And I was like, okay, I feel at home now. And London became my home very quickly because people kind of make your home in your surroundings, right? So felt very, very comfortable in that international environment, being a global citizen myself and surrounded by them. And
Wow. Yeah, I had an experience like that in London as well. I feel like London, like New York, is very international. I guess you could say melting pot. But I felt like I was happier in New York, to be honest, than I was in London. And I think...
Why so?
I think it's because when I was living in London, I was working and...
working is different to studying.
Yeah, I had made some friends and everything, but... in New York, when I went to New York to study, right? So there I did meet a lot of international people and made a lot of international friends. I felt like American people were maybe a little bit more friendlier and open compared to like Londoners, for example. So and also, I know this sounds silly, but the weather.
Weather's not that great in New York either.
It is though.
I
like
mean,
you
winter
actually have
cold,
yes, but you have
summers are-
seasons, you know. Like I felt like in England it was always rainy and it was always cloudy and it was always cold, even in the summertime.
I come from Finland, so I was like, anything better than -20, -30 degrees Celsius and a bunch of ice and having to do snow shoveling was better. So yeah,
I didn't mind the snow in New York. I rather it be cold and have snow than it be cold and be rainy and cloudy.
That, yeah.
You know, and then I just loved, like, you get actual summers in New York.
Yeah.
Like it.
No, I've been to a family in New York, so I go there a lot. So I agree with that. But yeah, regarding like the people, I wasn't mixing with Brits. I love British banter, love British people. But in my uni, I was mixing with so many international people. And as a student, it's an amazing city because, you know.
It tends to be like that. I had the same experience in Liverpool. I was mixing more with the internationals than I was with the British. But yeah, no, New York was definitely. I think I had a better time over there. For sure.
So I did end up in the US eventually. So pandemic hit during my senior year in London. Had to leave and move back to Finland for a bit. Then I was like, you know, what now? Job market wasn't the best. And a remote job. Ended up doing a master's with Halt as well right after. And Dubai was the most open place and campus, so I moved there for a year. That was also, you know, a new experience for me. I really enjoyed that. I would say Dubai is more of a cultural melting pot city of opportunity than the US or many US cities nowadays, at least. Like, you know, the American dream in the past is more like a Dubai dream nowadays. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. Then we had a chance to do a rotation, and I decided to go to Boston as things were opening up with the pandemic. And I really enjoyed that experience too. I got, you know, the proper US college experience and
right. Yeah. That's what I wanted. Like when I decided to go to acting school in New York, I was excited because I was going to get the college experience, the American college experience that I didn't get when I went to Liverpool, because I actually got into the University of Miami. And I wanted to go instead of Liverpool, but it was so expensive. Like,
schools in the US are extremely expensive.
It was ridiculous. I didn't have a scholarship or anything, so I'd have to pay like the full tuition fee, and for international students it's even more. So it was a crazy amount, and I was like, nah, screw this, I'll just go to Liverpool. So I settled for Liverpool, but I'm not gonna lie, once I finished there, I was like, I did regret, like, because I did actually get into the University of San Diego with a small scholarship, but I said no to that because I don't know why. I just felt like San Diego was really far away, and like if I had been in New York, okay, fine, but I was just like, oh, San Diego, like I felt a bit lazy going all the way there. And then also I just thought with like the 21 age restriction in America, I know that sounds stupid, but I was an 18-year-old and I wanted to party and have fun. And
understandable. Yeah, I forgot about that rule. I was already 21 when I did my rotation in Boston, but
right.
I'm in Europe, and like I think in Spain you can drink when you're 16. Well, Denmark as well.
So clearly the priorities of an 18-year-old.
It's part of the college experience.
Yeah, exactly. But so then when I decided to go to acting school, that's kind of how I was able to have like my American college experience, because
you did that in New York.
Yeah, and I was already 24 by that time, so in a way it was kind of like doing a master's or something. But yeah, no, I really did enjoy my experience there. But I'm really happy to be back in Madrid. And very cool that you've traveled to a lot of different places, because you said now you went to Boston.
I lived in 6 different countries, places. Yeah, this is the 6th one.
And you mentioned that your work has offices in different parts of the world.
So, I mean, I travel for my work. Yeah, we do have offices in different parts of the world. Mexico, Hong Kong, London. But for my work itself, I travel a lot. So I recruit and enroll for MBA programs, executive MBA programs. So already next week, I'm going to go to Vienna
Oh, cool.
And I'm going to be going to Zurich and Dusseldorf at the end of this month.
Wow. So you're traveling a lot.
I travel a lot, yeah. March, I had like 7 different business trips. I was really in Madrid.
Wow.
So, yeah, Amsterdam. So my markets are like, well, Nordics, Denmark as well. But I enjoy traveling. I've been to like, 48 different countries.
48?
Yeah.
Wow, you're counting.
Yeah, of course. Life goal of mine is I have a few friends who've done all 192 UN countries. So
wow,
don't know how feasible that will be for me, but yeah, I want to at least get to like 100 first,
48 different countries. Wow, I'd love to do something like that. Like I've traveled quite a bit, but definitely nowhere near that amount of countries.
From a young age, I've liked experiencing new things, new places, meeting new people, because it also, I think, grows you as a person. Like,
for sure,
it teaches you much more than, I don't know, like a course online or your traditional education can, when you're able to actually meet people, get a different perspective from different people.
Yeah,
on a myriad of topics. So.
For sure.
I love traveling.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, and because you have offices in different parts of the world, have you considered moving
I might not have a choice if they relocate me, but yeah, definitely. So that was kind of, I was offered this job in London as well, but I love London. I miss it, but I wouldn't live there again. It's kind of been there, done that. I think Dubai as well, but same thing. So yeah, it also depends on, your markets and what languages you speak. But yeah, it would be, Hong Kong would interest me, Mexico City. I do. It's nice to be back in Europe, and obviously living in Spain and south of Europe is very different to the UK or the Nordic countries. South America, like something new would be fun. South America, Africa. We have an office in Cape Town too.
Oh, Cape Town.
Yeah. I've been to South Africa already but that was for.
So if you could choose to go to one of the offices, which one would you go to?
I don't know if I'll be doing this job for that long.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, yeah, maybe.
Like, is there somewhere you would want to live after Madrid?
Kind of, I do miss Asia.
Asia?
So, Bali, Vietnam, Hong Kong definitely interests me. Or Central America, South America, since I speak Spanish as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. I'm thinking of, I don't know, I have it like on my mind that I would love to go to Thailand or Bali for a little bit. I've been to Thailand, but I was like 8 years old or something like that with my family, so it doesn't really count. But I'd like to go for like a month or something, just to experience it, because I have a remote job, so I would be able to do that.
Super cheap.
Yeah. But I would also love to go to Bali. I know it's like
that's on my bucket list.
Yes.
It's mainstream.
Very mainstream and like apparently full of like influencers and whatever else. But I don't care. I just want to experience it. And
it's super cheap. There's like surfing, the parties, and like renting a villa is super cheap there too. So
I think it's worth going there to experience that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like on my bucket list for this year. I'm hoping to go like in September or something. I don't know if it's feasible, but gonna look into it. And I don't know, who knows? Maybe I end up staying, because why not?
Right, you can work from anywhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like I really love Madrid. I've said this before, and would want to like have this as like my base. But I don't know. I sometimes get the urge to start over in a new place.
Right.
And
how long have you been here for a year? Like, were you somewhere else before collabs, or?
It's not even been a year. So, I've been here since July.
Okay.
Yeah, and before that, I was in New York.
Right.
But I didn't really have like the urge to travel, because or really like the means to, because I was studying acting and everything, and with acting you can't really travel that much because you have to be working and everything. Yeah, exactly. But now that I'm like working remote, I'm like, oh my God, I want to go here, I want to go there. Like next year, I really want to go to Japan in April. Yeah.
Cherry blossom season.
Yes, exactly. That's why I really want to go around that time. And then Colombia this year, I'm hoping in
a lot of friends in
December.
Someday.
Yeah. Have you been?
No, I've only been I was in Peru last fall. That was amazing. Machu Picchu, Cusco.
Wow.
All of that. Lima. I've been to Brazil for a friend's wedding, Sao Paulo, Rio. But I really want to travel around South America.
Brazil. I want to go to Brazil as well.
Yeah,
Isabella, I don't know if you've met her. She's a blonde girl. I think you saw her at Will's party when we were downstairs. She's from Brazil, and we've been talking about it, like saying how much me and Renate really want to go to Brazil.
I'll be going to a wedding in Ecuador next year. So that's a great thing about having all these, networks in international places like CoHabs, my university.
Yeah.
And your own experiences. I have like a network around the world, so
for sure.
And like weddings are a good reason to travel, or someone's birthday.
Yeah,
the other side of the world. Yeah, say less. I'll be there.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I feel like having, we do feel more comfortable in international circles, and I feel like there is so many perks with that because you end up meeting people from so many different places, and then you kind of have a sort of temporary mini home base in different parts of the world. Just like, for example, I'm gonna go see, well, I haven't bought the tickets or anything like that, but it's something that I'm planning. My friend, he's from Turkey and he lives there. I went to acting school with him in New York and we became good friends. And so we've been talking about me going to visit him in August. And I have a place to stay and somebody to show me around and everything.
Economical and
safe. And the same thing with Colombia, like I would have Renate to show me around, or my brother-in-law, for example. So yeah, it's really awesome to be able to have like those connections all around the world.
It makes the world feel smaller in a way,
Yes, I do feel that. Yeah. I do feel that for sure. So I wanted to ask you, which part of your cultures, of your background, do you feel most connected to? Bangladesh or Finnish?
Good question. It's hard to choose from one or the other because, as I said earlier, while we were talking, that kind of like it's half and half in terms of time spent and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm in between, or I take the best from each, the best of both worlds. But then at times I feel like I don't associate with how my countrymen or women are feeling on some topics or environments. Honestly, I couldn't decide. I'm either I'm a bit of both, or
I think
neither in between. It's like a mix, It's.
I think you are really a good mixture of both. Yeah. But from what you've told me so far, I feel like if I had to choose for you, I would say maybe Finnish.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many Finns you meet, but like generally speaking, at least the Finns you meet in Finland are quite reserved. They keep to themselves. They're not very talkative. If I was Finnish, I wouldn't be doing this podcast with you right now.
True.
I would stay in my home country, and
True.
They're not very extroverted.
It's true. I mean, I feel like it is like that with like the northern cultures. Like Renate would say the same thing about Germany. I would say the same thing about Denmark.
Right.
And I think we all have that kind of like similar mix of like something northern and then something
so
southern.
Mixed or neither. Like I'm in between, but So it's weird. Like sometimes I'd rather be with more international people than I don't necessarily gel so well with when I go back to Finland and with my with my childhood friends. And same thing with Bangladeshis, if they don't, unless they have international experiences like myself. So I have a nice bunch of a nice Finnish community here in Madrid of friends who are fully Finnish, 100% Finnish, but because they kind of have the same mentality.
Yeah.
In terms of, not wanting to stay in one place their whole life, have this more, international drive, and are open to new experience and everything. I get along with them perfectly fine because we relate on so many more topics and experiences. Same goes for my closest friends in Bangladesh. Same thing. They've traveled, they've studied abroad. They're different. I think that's why, like, when we talk about like race or nationality, there's actually not much that separates us, because I could be very similar to a person from Colombia, like and closer in terms of like mindset, mentality, preferences, interests than someone from one of my own countries. So
that's interesting. I like that.
You get what you get.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. Yeah. I like that. No, I hadn't really thought about that in that way before. Yeah. So that's
like just because I'm German, he's from Germany, we should be friends. Like no.
Yeah. No, totally.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like maybe Well, a lot of people go study like something that I kind of hate seeing is like if when in university like say an Indian goes to university, they'll just mix with the Indian people. A Chinese will just mix with Chinese. Like that's not the purpose of going abroad for university.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why we don't do that is because of the mixed identities.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And can you tell me something like your favorite part of your Bangladeshi culture and your favorite part of your Finnish culture?
Yeah, so I mean, there I can obviously make more differentiators. So like food for sure, Bangladeshi food, Bengali cuisine. I like spicy food. There's more variety.
What's your favorite dish?
There's this dish called kalabuna, which is like this roasted beef curry, blackened beef curry. Serve it like rice, and then this like lentil mix called dal, and then vegetables, and then.
Is it similar to Indian food in any way?
It is. It's very similar to Indian food, except a lot of Indian dishes won't have beef, for example, because they're Hindus, right? So they don't eat cow's meat. So you'll find more meat and more variety in the Bengali cuisine. But yeah, in terms of rice, curry, seasoning, very similar. Finnish food is, I don't know if you like Nordic food or Danish food. It's okay. Like I love the salmon, and I love like the fresh products and like organic sources of food. But in terms of like the taste and seasoning, it's obviously very, very bland.
Yeah. No, I agree. With Danish food, we do eat a lot of like salmon and
it's very similar to Finnish food.
Like the open sandwiches with like sliced boiled eggs or like shrimp, like the small shrimp.
The surströmming, the fermented fish as well.
Oh yeah. Oh god, I've never tried it because it looks awful. No. I would say I would definitely prefer Spanish food 100%.
I mean, like in the world, you don't see many Finnish restaurants or Danish restaurants.
No.
Actually, I'm glad in Madrid, I get Bangladeshi food because Lava PS, like 80% of the like popular, like the stores and stuff are owned by Bangladeshis.
Okay.
So there's also Bangladeshi restaurants, but the Indian restaurants are owned by Bangladeshi. So I go there often to get.
Can you recommend a good Bangladeshi restaurant in Madrid?
Yeah, there's one called Desh.
Desh?
DESH.
Okay.
The other one is Megha.
Okay.
Which means cloud in Bengali, but Desh restaurant or Megha.
Nice. Okay.
So, but Lava Piaz, there's a lot. Like you'll see the local writing and the bazaars and everything.
Okay.
I bought some stuff from the local grocery stores there as well for cohabs, like these spicy sauces and spices. And
oh, nice. I feel like Lava Piaz is definitely a very international neighborhood. I actually just I recently did an interview there for Gris de Mierda. They were doing an event, so I did the what's it called? I interviewed the guests there basically, and one of the questions I asked was, if you had to describe Lava Piaz as a person, how would you describe it? And most of them said like somebody who's international, like an immigrant neighborhood, like all these things. So
first time I heard of Lava Piaz, I don't remember who was telling me this, but like I think it was maybe locals, but they were like, it's dangerous, don't go there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. So. I think maybe it once was, but it's probably changed.
Well, that's the conception I had of it. And then, when I started hearing good things about it and how multicultural it is, and then I went there and I found this, huge Bangladeshi diaspora and, all the same foods that my grandma used to make. I'm like, oh, God. I mean, it's not only just, South Asians. It's very you've been there, right? It's very multicultural.
Yeah.
And, I kind of felt like, I mean, Madrid is international in general, but I really felt it there. Like, kind of got the similar feeling as in New York or London.
Yeah. And what's, has there been like a moment that you've been very like proud of your background?
I mean, all the time, because I think it's helped me connect with people more. Because I was saying earlier, there's not that many differences between people. Like it's not that much of a barrier to try to connect with someone, and having grown up with kind of I have no problem mixing with South Asians or Nordic people. That just kind of like, okay, if I can gel with these two very different types of people or mentalities, attitudes, ethnicities, why not with other people, right? So all the time when it comes to sport and everything, I'm proud of Finland in ice hockey or cross-country skiing. Or
okay. Ice hockey's big in Finland?
Yeah. I think it's Canada and Finland are the only countries where ice hockey is like bigger than football, soccer.
Okay. Amazing.
And Bangladesh cricket is popular.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm always, when, Finland's been the happiest country for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
So obviously those kind of statistics and things.
I find that very interesting, considering they don't have that much sun.
Well, there's a running joke in Finland that we're the happiest country in the world because all the sad people kill themselves. So.
Oh my God.
But
people say that in Finland?
That, yeah.
Oh my God.
I said that to a few people in Spain. They're like, oh my God, I'm going to use that. But no, it's obviously,
crazy.
But I mean, us Finns, I was just talking about that the other week with my Finnish friends in Madrid. We're happy about that, index and statistic, but we ourselves don't consider ourselves the happiest people in the world. It's obviously this index and this ranking, it measures, a variety of different aspects and things, income, social welfare, healthcare, level of homelessness, government benefits, etc. So kind of all on those different metrics and aspects, Finland scores quite high.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of a measure of contentness, or that, we have everything we need, we're okay, it's like a safety net. But when it comes to what is happiness? How do you measure happiness? But I mean, I've personally speaking, I found it interesting that Finland's been, the happiest country, because when I go to these rural villages in Bangladesh and see these kids with literally nothing, playing, not even clothes, they're some of the happiest kids I've seen in the world. I smile at, or I play with them for a bit, play football, or I don't know, just lift them up and just do some random, or show them something from my phone. They're so happy, small things make them so happy.
I wonder if those just statistics are even accurate.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's just measuring tangible things that can be measured. But that's the thing. I'm not sure if happiness, because it's like a feeling. It's subjective. It's emotion.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that could be accurately measured.
Yeah, I don't know. But I've also heard Sweden was one of the happiest countries, or Denmark or something. Seems to be the ones up there for some reason.
I mean, there's great. That's one thing I'm proud about being a Finn and love about Finland, is that it's super equal. The government provides amazing benefits. Education is free. Healthcare is free. My aunt is autistic, for example. She's been supported her whole life. She can't work, obviously, or anything, but she has a home and retirement and pension already. In other countries, that'll be an impossible thought.
Wow.
So things like that. It's a functioning society and economy. Hence, I think Nordic countries rank very high on that happiness thing. People don't have to struggle or worry.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah, so you're happy here in Madrid then?
Yeah, I am. It's still early days, but I don't see myself here for more than 2-3 years, I think. But so far I'm enjoying it. And the apagón, the blackout the other week, that was obviously, it wasn't nice for a lot of people. It was kind of scary to a degree, but that kind of solidified my reason that, I really I like this city and the mentality of Spanish people. And it's I chose a good city to live in, because we were at work, and then it's what now? No one knew what to do. Me and my colleagues decided to just go out in a plaza, go to a terrace, have some drinks. We met some other people. We started listening to a radio, playing cards, dancing, drinking, just carefree, just living in the moment. And everyone around us was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And you probably saw the videos. I don't know if you were here in
no,
the plaza here. It was like a festival in some parts of the city. We were just.
Yeah, no, it was I'm glad that it was fun. I'm glad that you brought that up, because I actually did make a video about it, but I never posted it because I just forgot. But for TikTok, because I was here. I was working my room, and then it happened. And I was like, "What the hell is going on?" Yeah. And then we all ended up outside. There's actually because all the videos that went viral, and you could see Plaza Olavide. You could see me
that was you.
I'm literally leading the twerk sesh. I swear, because everybody started dancing in the plaza, so I joined in, whatever. And then at one point, I got pushed to the front to lead the dance, and I was like, I don't know what to do, so I started twerking, and everybody was like twerking with me. And there's like one of the videos that went viral had like a million views or something. Wow. You could see me like, leading the twerk sesh. It was pretty funny. But no, I agree. Obviously, it was probably a very stressful and scary situation for some people. And I do consider us to be like very lucky to have had that experience, because and the video that I was making was basically the next day when I started talking about it. I basically was processing the whole day, right. And I was just like, that was such an experience that we were able to, I don't know, like we were cut off from the internet, we were cut off from the world, off the grid. We had like
uncertainty.
There was like this uncertainty, but like it was amazing how the second that we were disconnected from the internet,
connected, like they kind of,
everybody just came outside and started doing the things that we should be doing as humans. Dancing, singing, being with each other, like talking to each other, just like...
I really enjoyed it, to be honest.
It was amazing. It was one of the best days ever. Yeah.
That's the thing, like imagine that happening in another country. People like, I don't know, many countries in Asia, they would have... Obviously it happens still in a lot of places. Like that's why I wasn't that scared or anything, because like I grew up with power outages all the time. But if that happened in like, I don't know, Hong Kong, Japan, people would have like started panicking like crazy. And I don't know, and the Nordics will just like complain, stayed at home, not even met each other. I don't know. And that's why I'm like, okay, this is a good place to be. If people, this is how people act in a situation like that.
For sure. And like the weather was perfect. Yeah. It was like nice and warm. Like, and it was a Monday, so which is great. So we didn't have to work. But yeah, no, I really thought that to myself. I was like you, from that experience, you really realize how much we've been sucked in by screens, and it was a bit of a wake-up call. Like we
nice to be disconnected.
They should do that more often.
we should try to do that more often. As people, right? So.
Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking about it. Like Sundays, just turn off my phone and go outside.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. It was so nice to have you, Darius. Such a nice talk, and just getting to know you a little bit more. I really love just meeting people, international people, super international people like you. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. And yeah. So guys, make sure you tune in to next week's episode. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you soon. Bye.